should we stop coaching positional play and coach more decision-based play? So should we coach game intelligence more? How do you coach that? I'm going to just talk about that for a few minutes because it's been on my mind, and it's on my mind because I read a little thing from Xavi Alonso. He's a former ex-Liverpool, Madrid, Munich player, top player, now a top coach, done some really good stuff at Leverkusen. Now he's off to Madrid, and he was quoted as saying, "Why is Messi so good? Well, because he knows how and when to play a simple pass. That's it. If someone, um, what if one of Messi's teammates is in a better position, he'll just play the simple pass, and he spots it time and time again, and that is world class. And of course, when the moment comes, it might be in the first minute, it might be in the 90th minute. When that moment comes for Messi to do his magic, he's got that in the locker too. Of course, he has, and it's you know makes him arguably the greatest player of all time. Um, but it's the simple things, it's that game intelligence, and how much of that is being coached on a day-to-day basis from any level. I guess that's the question I want to ask. Can you coach it? Because you look at the football, from top level down, and you sometimes struggle to understand why did they do that. What a terrible decision. And you get there at all levels for football. And I just want to talk about the basic sort of youth level. What can we do to help, you know, increase a player's game intelligence whilst they're learning the game? Now, a standard thing that is done is the um, two-touch rule. You know, got to pass the ball after two touches, or it might be a three-touch rule. It's very old school kind of possession-based sort of emphasis on speed play, and it has its purpose. And if you use it in different scenarios and games, it's good. I personally like the 2 or 3 second rule rather than touch rule. So let's just still have the emphasis of speed, but we're kind of focusing more on a natural player kind of position, I feel, when we do that. But the emphasis is there, it's the same. And the game intelligence side that we're coaching is, are we thinking about the next move? That's what ultimately game intelligence is. Are we trying in that instance to not just say, well, it's two touch and then you release? Why are we doing that? Well, it's for speed, but it's also for trying to think about the next move ahead of the other team. And just like in chess, the best players always know what move's coming next, or however many moves ahead. I'm no chess player, but they are insanely intelligent with how the next phases go. And the best players kind of can see that picture. So you almost need to coach when you're coaching two touch. What is the purpose of it? Yes, it's to scan, to be quick on the ball. We don't want to be getting the ball stolen from us. What else are we doing? Are we thinking about the next phase of play where there's space in a certain area of the pitch? Are we moving into a space to receive the ball before we get the two touch or 2 second rule? And that's the next sort of level. And there's layers on that, isn't there? When you're coaching, there's layers about how many challenges you can put on a 2 or 3 touch rule. I could say, well, you've got to move into a certain zone, certain third. When you receive the ball from the back, you can only play it forward. And I'm talking about a coaching session that we want to get the ball into the opposition's half quicker because we've been too deep as a team and attracted too much attention from the opposition in previous games, and we're getting sucked back. So I want us to get out and get on the break quicker. So I'm going to coach two-touch football or three-touch football or 2 or 3 second football, but I'm going to create space by moving out wide, and they have to play the ball forward. You can even add they've got to play the ball forward, and they've got to play it in a certain zone that you're asking them to play it in. But whatever it is that you're doing, you're coaching a game intelligence in the session that can be portrayed, can be delivered rather. Um, when you come to a match, I always like getting your substitutes to do some homework as well, which helps with game intelligence, which is give them a little whiteboard, little pen, and just get them to write down something about the game. And the game could be something as the observation could be as simple as, right, player A, you're going to just make comments on when we don't have the ball, so out of possession football. Player B might be with possession. Player C, who's a sub, might be about defensive stuff. D, about attacking stuff. It could be a number of things. And then you give them that one challenge and you get them to tell you what they see. And that gives you obviously a conversation to have with them, but it helps them study the game a little bit more whilst they're going to be game changers ready to come on and hopefully change the game.